meeting was made by posting on the bulletin board, town hall, and sending to officially designated newspapers indicating that the meeting would take place at the community center at 6:30 p.m. on the state. Fire exits are located in the far right corner of the back and to my immediate left in the front. Roll call.
Councilman Agliata, Councilman Haynes, Councilman Hurley,
Here.
Councilman McDonald,
Here.
Councilman Slockbower,
Here.
Council President.
Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes. Regular meeting August 14, 2025. Regular meeting September 11th, 2025. Regular meeting September 25th, 2025. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move into correspondence tonight. Dear Mayor Mulligan, I am writing to follow up on our conversation regarding the incident that occurred at the Parks and Recreation meeting on October 23rd, 2025. As you recall, I shared the details of what happened during our discussion. You had indicated that you would look into the matter and get back to me. You did follow up with me, and I appreciate that. However, I was disappointed to learn that the Recreation Director and Council Liaison claimed to not have heard anything. I had expressed to you that I found this response unacceptable and informed you of my intention to file a complaint. I also requested a meeting with both the Director and the Council Liaison, as well as the Town Administrator, to discuss the issue further. At the last council meeting, I publicly reiterated my request for a meeting, and you mentioned that you would provide an update. Unfortunately, it's been almost 2 weeks since our last conversation, and I've yet to hear back. With our next meeting approaching, I would greatly appreciate it if you could provide a date for the meeting to discuss this matter in detail. I find it very disheartening that you allow the situation and treatment to continue in Rockaway Borough. As a resident, I expect a higher level of accountability and transparency from our local government. Hope we can resolve this matter promptly. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Bonnie Hook. As we did meet, and I did speak more than once to all involved in the incident, and so basically, as I mentioned before, I won't be discussing matters of personnel. I will follow with you, Bonnie, if there's any other issues outside of personnel that you would like to discuss with that. So I can reach out to you hopefully tomorrow. Thank you. Discussion, best practices inventory.
Good evening. So every year we have a best practices inventory that's sent out by the state. There's about 70 questions. Some questions are not scored, they're just a survey questions. Some are what's called best practices, other ones are core. And based off of that, they have a point system, and and what they do with this is you have to score at least a 32 or better to get the balance of your state aid. So with that, going through the survey, we scored a 36.5, so we will be receiving our full state aid.
Great.
And that would be my report. And if council has any questions regarding it, I did send it to council for review.
Thank you. Some reports. Councilman Slockbower.
Evening, Mayor, Council, resident, Borough. My report for tonight. The administrator shared some information with us. As you know, July 1st, we have a property maintenance individual inspecting properties. He's been out working from September 3rd to October 3rd. He's written 4 violations. So we're trying to clean up the town. This is all because your concerns. We agree with you. We're out working. So things are getting taken care of. Trying to clean up the town, make it look more presentable. So I gotta give the man credit. He's doing a fabulous job right now. Moving along, as you know, last month I spoke about ordinances. Church Street was an issue. We discussed it, about parking issue. Letters have been drafted. They are signed. They'll be going to mail probably on Monday. This is for Church Street. If you go through Church Street, there's a parking problem. It's a hazard. It's a safety issue. So we like to address it in a softer fashion, try to get the residents out with us, work with us to get this taken care of. Along with that is e-bikes. We discussed e-bikes. This is still being discussed throughout the police department, through the ordinance committee. It's a touchy situation. There's a lot moving parts with e-bikes. But this is not just on the town to have something done about e-bikes. There's also the parents' responsibilities. Your children have to wear helmets when riding bicycles. So we all own this. We're just trying to keep the younger generation in better shape. We don't want anybody getting hit by a car. So we'll be looking at e-bike issues. Our fire department liaison's not here, Mr. Burnside. I might mention something about fire prevention there, Mayor.
Sure.
It's October, Fire Prevention Month, people. I just gotta say, make sure your detectors work, make sure they work in order, check your heating units, make sure you change your filters, give them your furnaces serviced. Along with that, also, if you have a wood stove, fireplace in your house, make sure you get the flues cleaned. It's very important. It's that time of year, as we'll be turning our furnaces on in the next couple of days. And that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Yeah, just to follow up with the e-bike, I know our chief is working with the legislators to see what's going on at the state level, across municipalities. We're fortunate to have Joe Bell here, who authored e-bike ordinance for Florham Park. So it's something that we want to tap into. But I think, as you said, there's a lot of moving pieces, but I think it's important that we push forward with this.
I did speak to Conrad Pepperman today, our police chief, and the Police Chiefs Association, it's a very big topic. They just had a meeting on it today. So it's not just us, it's all around New Jersey. But absolutely right, Mayor, absolutely right. Thank you.
Motion to accept the report of Councilman Slockbower.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Councilman Hurley?
Thank you, Mayor, fellow council members, and members of our public. Let's start off with the accounts payable for the month. I move that the bills presented to the Borough of Rockaway for payment by the borough or as evidenced by proper vouchers be referred to the committee or unit contracting for same, and when endorsed by them and approved by appropriate action of council, that they are to be paid. Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Just a quick look, a couple of quick updates at a few things going on. Council attended the Land Use Board meeting last Tuesday night. The board took action on two resolutions, passed two resolutions, a C variance for residents on Kelly Court and a D variance over on Orchard Street. They also approved a application for a C variance for a resident over here on Union Street. Saturday was a pretty busy day. Started off with the historic tour, tour of history that we were part of with the county, part of the Morris County Historical Committee. And we had our museum opened, the newly renovated museum, and we had record attendance. We had over, well, it was, when I left, 38, but I understand we're just a click under 40. It's a record for having a one-day event for an open house at the museum. Did really, really well. We had people come as far away as Pennsylvania to visit our museum. We had the president of the, I guess it's Mount Pocono, I think he said it was, but he was the president out there and wanted to visit our museum and see what we did for a small museum. But we had people from Essex County and Warren County and all the way up through Sussex County, plus probably about a couple dozen of our own residents who stopped by the museum. So, and I do want to thank Mayor Mulligan and Councilman-elect DeVito. I think I saw him here. He was, they were part of our welcoming and visitors section at the check-in center, so we thank you for that. The museum will go back to its regular schedule of being open on the fourth Sunday of each month, starting this month in December. So again, we're open from 1 to 3, fourth Sunday of the month. And attended the fire chief's annual inspection ceremony at Firehouse, along with Mayor Mulligan and Council President Burnside. Fire department's looking very sharp and proper. Had a good time. So that's my report, Mayor.
Thanks. I just want to reiterate with the fire inspection, it's great that everybody comes in, and it's just one of the things that they always talk about is membership. And I was making a comment. If you look at the fire inspection picture on the wall there, compared with some of the membership that we have now, it's an emergency, right? Getting more people to join the fire department. I know there's active recruitment going on, but I'm real happy with the folks that we have, and look to build on that. But thanks.
They look great though.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Councilman McDonald?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. As this past Saturday, I attended the fireman's inspection dinner. It was a very nice event. As always, I couldn't make the inspection itself, but again, it was a great time. Also, an update from our Parks and Recreation Director, Rob O'Connor. Borough Recreation basketball is now open for registration K through 2nd. It is co-ed clinic, and 3rd through 8th grades is for boys. Girls basketball registration is now closed. Families can go to Rockaway Borough basketball.org to register and for more information. Spectacular vendor update. Tables are now full, and any registrations received will be placed on a waiting list. Rec Director will also host the township officials next week to go over logistics of the event. Again, this event is on Saturday the 25th. Rec would also like to remind everyone that candy donations are being accepted at Town Hall during normal business hours, and any donations is very much appreciated. That's an update from our Parks and Recreation Director, Rob O'Connor. That's all I have.
Motion to accept the report of Councilman McDonald?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Report of attorney?
Good evening, everybody. Just two brief items. I think the approach that the ordinance committee is doing on the e-bike ordinance is very smart. Working with the police right from the beginning, that's how we did it in Florham, and so far so good. And the only other is just a brief one. The items on the agenda relating to the reassessment, I worked with the administrator and our tax assessor to develop a bid specification and navigate the other procedural formalities associated with that. But the whole reassessment is nothing new. It's been talked about at budget meetings and at least 1 or 2 meetings before. So that's about all I have.
Yep. And, you know, the reval is required by the county for us to do, and, you know, due to the cost, most towns issue 5-year special emergency ordinances to fund the property reassessments. And, you know, back in June, the auditor explained this process in anticipation of this ordinance. So, thank you.
Yep.
Motion to accept the report of the attorney?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? DPW, first thing I would like to announce, sadly, is our DPW director, Bill Hopler, has announced his retirement. So, you know, because of that, I need a closed session for personnel. You know, we will actively look for his replacement. So, also on DPW, you know, there's been, since the last meeting, 2 water leaks that have been fixed. They've started their Fall Street sweeping. And also, you probably noticed over on East New Street, the water main project. You know, with that, you know, work is ongoing with that, and then, you know, because of, you know, digging, there is a pile of dirt which has been tested this week, and I'm optimistic that they will start removing that pile next week. Yep. You know, as soon as we get the results, the pile of dirt will be removed. And speaking of pile of dirts, Rockwood Drive, I anticipate that removal of those piles of dirt to start later on next week. You know, I've given them sort of a timeline to be completed by the end of the month, end of October, to have that completely cleaned up. And then once DPW clears the area, the borough will be blocking off the area and posting no dumping signs. I have an update with police department. Calls for the month of September. We've had 1,374 calls for service, 29 crash investigations, 70 traffic stops, 25 citations. Along with that, we've mentioned before, because of a retirement in our police department, we do have an opening. You know, we have been looking at ongoing academy classes, alternate route candidates. So basically, after looking through that, we're also looking for, we've opened applications for a full-time police officer. Applicants need to be PTC certified or Class 2 waiver eligible in the state of New Jersey, must be 18 years old, U.S. citizen, high school graduate, possess a valid New Jersey driver's license, drug screening and psychological test is required. Applicants can use the website policeapp.com to apply. The application process closes October 15th. Then the other ordinance that we have on tonight, 2523, this has to do with our water turn-off program between November 15th and March 15th. We will not be turning off water for non-payment. There may be other reasons why the water may be turned off, but for non-payment, it will not be turned off. That's it for my report. Motion to accept the report of the mayor?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Report of administrator?
I have no report, I just need a closed session for contract negotiations and personnel.
Report of the clerk?
I have no report. I'm sorry.
Contract negotiations and personnel.
Resolutions consent agenda, 149-25, accept the resignation of our DPW director. 150-25, accept the resignation of our electrical subcode official. 151-25, affirm the Borough of Rockaway civil rights policy. 152-25, amend personnel policies and procedures manual. 153-25, appoint electrical subcode official. 154-25, authorize final change order, Franklin Ave Road resurfacing, phase 1. 155-25, authorize adoption of the 2025 Morris County Hazard Mitigation Plan. 156-25, refund concept review escrow, CRM-028. 157-25, refund soil disturbance escrow 60 East Main Street. 158-25, refund street opening escrow 11 Highbury Ave. 159-25, refund street opening escrow 174 Rockaway Ave. 160-25, authorize solicitation of bids for borough-wide property tax reassessment. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve resolutions contained in the consent agenda commencing with 149-25 all through and inclusive of 160-25.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hurley.
Yes.
Councilman McDonald.
Yes.
Councilman Slockbower.
Yes.
Thanks. Two ordinances for introduction. 25-22, authorizing a special emergency appropriation of $350,000 for the preparation and execution of a complete program of revaluation of real property in the Borough of Rockaway. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Hurley.
Yes.
Councilman McDonald.
Yes.
Councilman Slockbower.
Yes.
25-23, an ordinance amending Chapter 247, Water, Article 1, General Regulations, Bills to the Code of Borough of Rockaway. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Hurley.
Yes.
Councilman McDonald.
Yes.
Councilman Slockbower.
Yes.
In accordance with Resolution 156-20, establishing rules of conduct and decorum for public meetings, please note the following. Please move up to the podium and state for the record your name before addressing mayor and council. All comments shall be addressed directly to the mayor. Once the comments are received, the mayor will redirect questioning to other members of council. I will not address matters of personnel. All public comments, questions, and remarks will be limited to 5 minutes within a single turn of the podium. I'd like to open the meeting to the public.
Hello, Katie Clark, 66 West Park Street. Hi. Any quick question regarding the consent agenda? Resolution 15125, affirm the Borough of Rockaway civil rights policy. Is that something that's legally mandated for you to put this resolution through?
So we have to update our personnel manual, which is also 15225 every 2 years.
Mhm.
And that civil right affirmative action policy is part of the requirement of the insurance company.
Okay. But it's something that you'll believe though, right? You're not just doing it because you have to? Because I was really pleased to see it in there. I think some of the concerns that the public has brought to you, myself and in these meetings and outside, whether it's via email, I think are covered very much so by this policy here, or whatever this resolution is, affirmation. So even if it's not, I think it's good to have. So I just wanted to recognise that. Yeah, and you're not talking about personnel, so I don't really need to go into that, but thank you. And then I had a question, it's a follow-up from a couple of meetings ago. The owner of G2 came in
Correct.
to talk about wanting to become a cultivator or manufacturer. So after that, watching that, I looked up the state laws and stuff like that. Is that something that you're moving forward with?
Yeah, that's something we're interested in. I had a follow-up conversation with the owner of that. And one of the things I'd asked him to identify other indoor grow facilities locally that we could go and inspect ourselves, or just so we can go and see and smell and
Mhm.
things like that. But it's something that we're interested in. You know, once we do that, I will appoint 2 members of council to go on that field trip to
Okay.
inspect.
I mean, because you'd have to, would that be a change to the existing ordinance? Because anything like cultivation and manufacturing is,
It would have to be,
But, okay.
because right now it's not part of it, but it's
Uh-huh.
something that, and when they say manufacturing, it means like making the gummies or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
large scale, big manufacturing, it's just, that. But it's something that, if that's something we can fit within the borough of Rockaway, and certainly, the taxes that we can get from that could be, certainly beneficial. So it's something we're interested in looking into.
okay. Yeah, I know, I think I don't know about the Ascend in Wharton does have those facilities. I was doing some research and they might have a license or they're registered with license with the state. I don't know if Wharton allows that, but
I'm not aware of an indoor grow facility in Warden.
no, there's, okay.
But I know, I am familiar.
You know what I mean, like, because when the G2 guy came in, they have to apply to the state as well, don't they, to get that classification, and then additionally, they have to be licensed by the town based on the state license.
Yeah, so something like that too, is they need endorsement from the town, so once, if we update our ordinances, then.
That's endorsement,
We
right?
can put a resolution in that endorses them to go for the license for the state. And
Okay,
it's a couple step process.
what's the timing on that?
To be determined. I'm waiting for the owner of T2 to get back to identify a facility that we can visit that would replicate similar to what they're proposing.
Okay. Yeah, it just changed the dynamic of the cannabis industry in town. Just knowing now, like, I asked Patty for the numbers, the sales tax payments. Kindclish is still the more popular, or there's more higher revenue, so that'd be interesting. Thank you. You mentioned Rockwood Drive in your report there.
Yep.
Who's moving that dirt? Where are you moving it to?
As far as the location, I'm not sure where it's going yet, but we've been talking with drivers, and I'm hoping, by mid next week, we'll start moving some of that dirt. As soon as I find out exactly where it's going, all the analytics came back, it's clean, so
Okay.
that helps us.
That's something that we're doing sort of within the town though. I know, like, the library was mandated, this is not, it's more.
The DEP has requested that we move it. We're not under a notice of violation,
Okay.
but they asked us to get rid of it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I went up there today to take a look. You said you're blocking it off and putting no dumping signs, but who was dumping there other than DPW?
Who was dumping there
Yeah.
besides them?
Are there other people going up there, you know?
I mean, there's been reports of other people, but I don't know
Okay.
specifics.
And then one last thing, I've got other things, but one last thing, Pat had mentioned the spectacular and donations for candy. So I've been going around town the past week and a half or so, asking businesses to donate money so that I can go and buy candy before the spectacular and drop it off at town hall, as well as to some families on Rockaway Avenue. So I've got $250 right now. Yeah, Walter's very generous. But I also heard that Rockaway Ave, they are going to be doing a temporary closing based on that letter that you read of 3 days at the last meeting. So just wanted to say, I don't know who's responsible for making that happen, but thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Kate. As far as the street closing or the candy?
Well, the candy, I'm doing it, so
Okay.
I'll thank me. No, I'll send an email to you about dropping that off, but no, for the Rockaway Ave closure, I know that that's
the
the
police department is handling that.
Yeah, well, that's great. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Angelo, 151 Mount Pleasant Avenue, Rockaway. For Rockwood itself, that's going to be actually screened material?
It'll be screened before it leaves, but yeah.
And what about over here, the DPW? That's going to be screened too?
Which,
I mean, the dirt behind here.
yeah, if it needs to be screened, it certainly will be screened, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, so I would have thought when they were screening at the library, you rented it for a month, and the screener was sitting still for a while, the excavator was sitting for a while. Wouldn't you have hit all 3 places to screen? Because when you have to rent it, you have to rent it either by the week, by the month, and it's just gonna cost more money right there. So I don't think that was really thought out. Number 2, like Flom Park, working over there last Saturday, and I recommended when it was the budget meeting, you guys wanted to buy another loader, wasn't too keen on that. Actually to buy a screener itself. In Flom Park, they have a screener over there. So what they do is they screen their materials and they get rid of it, or they allow the public to take it itself. So that was a good idea over there. And that's what I think for a budget next year, to get a screener itself. It's a portable one, you can bring from job to job itself. For when you do move from Rockwood, are you going to be subbing out for truck drivers, or the town's going to be doing that?
Well, we're gonna load, but we're gonna sub out for truck drivers.
Okay. And you're going to be getting an excavator too, or using your own backhoe?
We're gonna be using our own equipment.
Okay, because you have to think about the capacity. If you're going to load, you're not going to really be able to load a tandem itself over there because of the height itself. So maybe you may want to think about that one. And what about the rocks over there?
I think we're in discussions with, I'm just trying to think, but they'll be removed separately. They're not gonna be part of that.
But you don't know where, I mean.
Not, I'm not exactly sure where those.
Okay, well, because those rocks came from over here and the rocks came from the library, so, the object is to do it one time and that's it. And then the last thing of all, Friendship Field, where they're doing the job on East New Street or so. Is there a permit on that where they're storing that dirt?
No permit, obviously I reported right before you walked in that, I think I talked to you, that it has been tested. And the plan is to get the contractor to start moving that stuff out next week.
So that little brook falls under C1 water itself, under C1, under DEP. You have to be a 300-foot buffer. You're actually 24 feet there. So if there's no permit itself over there, I'm just curious, like who, was it the engineers or DPW, or I can't blame the contractor, but who told them to stock it there?
I assume the DPW guys told them.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Angelo.
Bonnie Hook, 23 Jackson. Thank you for reading my letter, but we didn't meet because I requested after you did come to my house that day that I wanted to meet with Pat McDonald and I wanted to meet with Rob. And I also wanted to file a complaint, and you said get back to me, and I never heard anything from you. That's why I wrote the letter. And so, where we stand?
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna be discussing personnel matters any
I'm not discussing personnel matters. I asked to meet with 2 authority people in our town over an incident, and I would like to do so. Is that permitted?
Well, I've talked to everybody involved regarding the incident, things like that.
Is it permitted for me to meet with them, yes or no?
If you want to, yeah, we can.
That's what I requested. I would like to meet with them, and I would also like from you the procedure of how I can file a complaint against a town employee.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you very much, I appreciate that. The riverbank, Patty, any update on that today?
DEP asked us a couple of questions, had questions. They also didn't want it to make it as large as we wanted to do, the 150, I believe it is, that we were talking about. Don't quote me on the size, I believe that was the size.
They didn't wanna make it
They wanted
large?
it, they wanted it shorter, so
Okay.
our engineer, was going back and forth with them, saying that they felt it should be the length that they proposed. We believe now that they are accepting that, so they did resubmit, so it's going back and forth, so right now we're waiting now, I think it's back to DEP. So,
Okay. And how long do you think that's gonna take? I mean, this is the
I don't know,
last thing
I
after
did get
they...
an email today from, again, there's two different departments, but one DEP department did request a 30-day extension for a decision on something. So again, there's no time frame. It's the state. You know, they ask the question, as soon as they come, we're responding to them,
Okay.
but it's till they give us the
Okay.
permit, but it's been ongoing.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. Update on the spraying of the knotweed and cutting it down or whatever, I haven't
Yep,
noticed
it's on there,
anything.
yeah, cutting down the dead trees that we talked about, and then.
Well, they didn't cut,
No, they didn't cut, they cut the big tree,
right,
but little trees that we're gonna do ourselves, so it's on their schedule.
okay. And when, like, that's like soon, or when? I mean, we've been saying this for maybe 3 years now. I mean, about these same
Well, they're gonna
trees. And the knotweed, well, the knotweed obviously is this season, but, so they're gonna be doing it before the cold then? They're doing
Oh,
it by the
absolutely.
end of the,
Absolutely.
okay, all right, thank you. Another thing, the 350,000 for the reevaluation, can you explain that? That's for what, paying for labor, or what is that for?
So I don't know if you recall when the auditor was in, when she did the audit back in June, I had her explain this. So what happens is towns are required, when the county tells them to go out to do a reevaluation, a reassessment, to make sure I get the right wording, a reassessment. And because of the cost of it, to put it in one budget is very expensive. So instead of hitting our $350,000 in one budget, towns do go out what's called a 5-year special emergency. So this is a very common thing. Unfortunately, they call it a special emergency. I mean, it's the name that the state calls it, not us. But basically, they're just saying it's that we can spread the cost of that out over a couple of years.
Okay.
So this is, again, a common practice of
Okay.
most towns. Some towns may be funded 100%, but our town just can't handle the cost of $350,000.
Yeah, I get it. And that's your estimate of what it's gonna cost to do the whole town, total?
Not my estimate, but the assessors.
Oh,
Yeah.
the assessors.
Yeah, the
Okay.
assessor did a calculation based off of how much it's gonna cost for the town, and we did put in costs in there for appeals, because again, after that, there could be appeals. So we're figuring that's the total cost for the whole process.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. Any other comments from the public? Hearing none, close the meeting to the public. Motion to go to closed session. All in favor? Have a good night. Stay warm.
You're not coming back out, obviously? No back out?
Oh,
After the
no
closed
action will
session?
be ta- No action will be taken after the closed session.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie.